Hello, my name's Tim Wilson, and I've been teaching English as a foreign language. I've been teaching teachers how to teach for years, and I was asked if I would review this TOEFL teaching course, and I'm doing so. This is a sponsored video. I think it's the first sponsored video I've ever done. But I thought I would approach it in a critical way so that it doesn't just come across as an endorsement. So it comes across as much as I can possibly make it as a critical assessment of the tools which are on offer. I've gone through those tools. I've actually taken the course, and I had my own mentor, my own assistant, whose name I think was Hannah. It's an interesting online course. It's an interesting project that covers both TEFL and TESOL. Teaching English, an excellent way to get jobs as you travel abroad or indeed at home, and the course is very thorough. As I say, it's online with a helpful agent, and mine was called Hannah, but there is an absence of advice. So there's a great deal of stuff towards the end of the course about how to get jobs, about exams and taking students through exams, particularly IELTS, which is a difficult exam. But there's an absence of advice about scams in the industry, of which there are lots, and I want to make that very clear. And it can be a very low rate of pay that this qualification can open the door into. Teaching English and teaching in general is a passion. If you have that passion, this is a great way to implement it. But this is also a formulaic system, and often schools are quite content with whoever is the cheapest, not necessarily who is the best. It's a qualification rather than the experience and the quality of teaching that sometimes seems to matter, and the experience is what often shows up the scam. So this is a great door opener, but do not enter that door. Do not enter that chamber with your eyes shut. This is a first step, not a guaranteed money maker. The idea of taking a TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language, or a TESOL, that's teaching English to speakers of other languages course, has become one of the most popular options for people looking to travel, to teach, to reinvent their careers online. And whether you're in your 20s, retired, looking for adventure, or simply wanting to make use of your language skills, these qualifications are now a globally recognized badge of competence. And courses such as the 120-hour course, 150-hour course, 250-hour course versions are thorough, flexible, and increasingly accessible, particularly when delivered online with supportive tutors, like the system that I was fortunate enough to look at. And the enthusiasm among teachers is contagious. Testimonials abound with glowing praise. Students speak of finishing a pleasant but intense journey, of excellent tutors who were always there in the background, of customer service that is responsive, efficient, and kind. One particularly moving testimony ended up with the quote, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. That's the spirit that drives much of this sector. So if you want to enter this particular business, and it is a business, then this is a great way to do it. I want to take a brief historical detour. So the formulation of TEFL and TESOL as professional fields can be traced back to the post-World War II period, when English language teaching became central to post-war reconstruction, international diplomacy, and globalization. And the British Council, established in 1934, played a key role in the spread of English language teaching abroad, while the American TESOL movement gained strength in the 1960s and 70s, especially in the wake of international development and the spread of US cultural and academic influence. By the 1960s, TEFL and TESOL were formalized into structured certifications, initially through brick-and-mortar universities and teacher training colleges, but the digital revolution of the 2000s brought this into the online space, democratizing access, but also opening the door to some exploitation. Now, let's be clear. These courses, and this particular course, is a powerful tool. Most courses are well structured, filled with rigorous pedagogical content and useful teaching strategies, and the 250-hour courses go well beyond the basics. They cover methodology, grammar instruction, business English, classroom management, pronunciation, needs assessment, lesson planning, the difference between teaching children and teaching adults. Many platforms offer downloadable materials, guided practice, job boards, tutor support, lesson plans. Students praise their trainers, visible figures who offer support, feedback, encouragement within 3 days. The course materials are often transcribed for accessibility, and some include real classroom videos for practical application. One participant reflected that the course helped them analyse and systematize their prior teaching experience. Others find inspiration. They speak of starting mini schools, working with children for the first time, or achieving a long-delayed dream. But let's be honest, for all the flexibility and value of these qualifications, they are not golden tickets. They are entry points, not guarantees of success, and some of the pitfalls are real. There are scams. Some teachers arrive in a foreign country to find no job, no housing, or vastly different teaching conditions than promised. I remember my first job in Greece. I arrived at a school in the middle of nowhere to find that the school was completely empty. The school managers were away. I was left homeless for days, and even when they came back, they had not arranged accommodation for me. I was sleeping on a stage in the school, surrounded by mosquitoes, and it was a misery. It was an absolute misery, and it was not as close to Athens as they'd promised. But you know, you get over that, and certainly if you're young enough, you learn, you adapt, and it becomes part of the entertaining story of your teaching career. Some people are forced to work more hours than agreed, to share housing with strangers in slightly odd conditions. Others unknowingly allow a recruiter to skim a portion of their salary for months. There are scams involving upfront payments for visa processing, flight booking, followed by sudden silence. And there are cyber scams, even fraud schemes involving click farms and fake online teaching companies. The dream of digital nomadism, if taken blindly, can become a nightmare. And even when jobs are real, they are often poorly paid. Some countries pay less than £6 an hour, or offer salaries that are swallowed by housing costs. Employers may care more about having a certificate than a competent or passionate teacher. It's a box-ticking exercise, and that's deeply frustrating for those who care about teaching itself. So what do? First, research. Use reputable job boards, Google the employer, join Facebook groups of TEFL teachers in target countries, and ask direct questions. Request to speak to current teachers before you sign a contract. Read every clause, especially about hours, accommodation and overtime. If it feels too good to be true, it might well be. Second, recognize that this is a field where your initiative matters. Make yourself more than a certificate. Prepare a strong CV, a good demo lesson, and a compelling video introduction. One of the advantages of this course is that there's an entire section on developing your CV with really good pointed advice. Invest in building your own personal identity. Use the internet. Use YouTube, use videos. So yes, be positive. The TEFL and the TESOL world is full of opportunity. These courses are rigorous, they're well reviewed, they're well presented. I've been talking for many years about the importance of harnessing a digital presentation with the sort of support that this course actually offers. This is a prototype of what I think digital learning could be. It suits the curious, the adaptable, the linguistically adventurous. And this online model, if you approach it properly, if you approach it enthusiastically, is as effective as any in-person training. In fact, possibly more so, because you can do it at your own speed. It empowers you to learn wherever you are, and at whatever stage in your life you may be. So don't be naive. Don't be naive. Scams exist. Wages can be low. Schools can be unscrupulous. And teaching, though deeply rewarding, is often undervalued. But this course is a stepping stone, and I think, having gone through it, having gone through everything, every single lesson, having looked at every single lesson on the way, I don't think you could get a better groundwork. I don't think you could get a better introduction to this business and this career than is on offer here. It's a fantastic door opener, but it is not a golden key. Be prepared, be smart, be inspired, and above all, as one graduate said, be brave, be optimistic, keep hope, and you really will succeed. I am inspired by this course. I hope you will be too.